Okay, so we're gonna make a pizza today. I'm making it gluten-free. You can swap out regular flour if you'd like for this recipe if you don't have gluten-free flours, and let me know how that turns out. So I have all of my ingredients here, and I'm on my laptop, so I'm gonna be following along the recipe as we bake. Okay, so the first thing it says to do is in a small bowl, combine half a cup of water, and then 1 teaspoon of yeast. This is active dry yeast. You can find it in the baking section. Okay, so that's 1 teaspoon. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of honey. Okay, my honey's kind of has a hard time getting out. So, okay, I think that was about a teaspoon. Okay, so we got that in the bowl. And let's see, what's it say now? So we stir that together and set it aside. And now we're going to preheat the oven to 450. Second bowl here while we wait for the yeast to bubble up, and we're going to get our flour. So let's see how much flour I need. All right, 1 cup of flour. Yep, 1 cup of flour. Okay. Now we want half a cup of either cornstarch, tapioca starch, or potato starch. I have tapioca starch because I don't eat corn. It's all just a personal preference. So we want half a cup. Starch. Okay, next is we are going to do the xanthan gum. And that is half a teaspoon. Okay, so where is it? Xanthan gum. We used that in the last, when we made cookies. And if you're using regular flour and this isn't gluten-free, I don't think you need the xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is mainly for gluten-free recipes. Okay, now half a teaspoon of salt. This is the only way I have my salt, so I just do a bunch of cranks. And I hope that it ends up being enough salt. So, okay. And baking powder. Alright, so I don't actually use baking powder because it's made out of corn. So I'm going to use a little bit of baking soda instead. I recommend if you have baking powder to use that though. I'm just going to use a little bit of that. And one thing you can do if you don't do baking powder is you can do cream of tartar and baking soda instead. So I do half cream of tartar and half baking soda to replace my baking powder. Okay. Now let's see what it says. Stir. So we'll stir all those flours together. Okay. So just to be sure, we are on flour, cornstarch, xanthan gum, salt, and baking powder. I want to make sure it's all stirred very well. Okay, now let's see what the next step is. Now you want to prepare prepare your toppings for the top of your pizza. So as you can see right here, I got lots of different veggies I'm gonna put on top of my pizza. I'm gonna have my pizza be vegetarian. So I have bell pepper, mushroom, zucchini, and green onions. And then I also have, these are artichoke hearts. So this is what I chose to put on my pizza. You could do pepperoni and cheese. I also have cheese too, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm using tomato sauce, pasta sauce for my pizza sauce. I went to the store today and I tried to find pizza sauce and they didn't have any, so pasta sauce works just as fine. Okay, so we prepare our toppings to go on the pizza. And now we add the yeast and the water to the flour mixture. Okay, so stir up this a little bit. I'm adding it to my flour mixture. Okay, now what? Stir well. Oh wait, first then we add olive oil before we stir. So that's 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Stir that up. We want to be careful we don't spill it out of the bowl. Like I just did on my laptop. Whoops. Okay, so I got that all stirred up. Now let's see, the mix will come together, but it will be dry and crumbly. Add 2 tablespoons of water. So now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of water to this mixture. 1, 2. Okay. Now stir that up. Really good until it's all combined. Okay, now what do we do? The mix should be fairly wet, but not so wet that it's impossible to handle. Stir that a little bit more. There we go. See the texture? Looking good. Okay, so I don't have a pizza dish that's round, I just have cookie sheets. So I put a piece of tin foil on a cookie sheet and I'm gonna sprinkle that with flour. Okay. And now I'm going to put my dough onto the cookie sheet. Cookie sheet. Okay, so this is pretty sticky, so I want to make sure I get all the dough. I scrape it off like that. Okay, so now I'm going to spread this dough around until it's flat on my cookie sheet. Okay, so I have my crust here, and the way that I got this to spread was I put flour on my hands and I sprinkled flour on the dough, and then I just used my hands to push it into kind of a square and, well, rectangle. And, you know, this is just what it's gonna look like. This is the first pizza I've made, so I'm sure as I make them, they'll get a little better. And maybe I'll buy one of those round pizza stones so that it looks more like a normal pizza. So now we're gonna add our sauce. So I'm gonna get a little spoon and I'm gonna spoon some sauce on until the whole pizza is lightly coated in sauce. Now remember that you want to leave about 1/2 inch around the edges without anything on it. Okay, so I think the difference between pasta sauce and pizza sauce is that pizza sauce is a little thicker. So if you have pasta sauce and it's really runny and you don't really like it, you can add some cornstarch or tapioca starch and have it thicken up. So that's about the only difference, is consistency. It's all made out of tomatoes. And you could probably even make your own sauce if you got tomatoes and found a recipe. You probably cook them and then blend them together and add spices. So that could be good. Maybe we'll do a video on that next time. Okay, so you can see I have a nice little covering of sauce. So now we're gonna do the cheese. I'm just using up the last of this white cheddar, and then I'm gonna use some more regular cheddar, because these are the bags of cheese I have open in my fridge. Okay, so we want to do again a light mixture of cheese covering, and I'm not giving a set amount on how much cheese you can put on yours. I'm not putting a lot of cheese because I'm a little lactose intolerant, and I probably shouldn't be eating cheese, but I really like it. So I'm just putting a little bit of cheese on mine. If you want, you can put a ton of cheese on yours, and that's your choice. Okay, so I just have a light coating of cheese. Okay, now for the veggies. Okay. I'm gonna sprinkle some veggies on. I have my zucchini. Okay. And I have some bell pepper. Green onions. And then mushrooms. Okay, see how that turned out. I'm gonna do another one of these because I have to feed 3 people tonight, and I think we're gonna eat more than this one pizza. Also putting on artichoke hearts. Cutting them in half. Artichoke hearts you can buy canned. I like a lot of vegetables, and again, it's your pizza, so you put on it what you want. This is just what I chose to put on my pizza. Okay, so now we put it in the oven for 15 minutes. So my buzzer just beeped, so I'm gonna check on this pizza and see what it looks like. So what we want is we wanna see it have a brown edge, and we wanna see it kind of raising up a little bit on the sides. So if it doesn't look brown, that means it's not ready, and I'm gonna leave it in for a couple more minutes. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, it's hot. Okay. Actually looks pretty good. Now remember, this is really hot. But I'm thinking this is done. So I'm gonna take it out, and it'll be a minute before we can find out if it's ready. And I made a second pizza because I have a hungry family. So I'm gonna put that in there for 15 minutes. Okay. I hope you liked your pizza. Let me know how it turned out, and enjoy.